guys, welcome to another Dream Team stream. I hope you are all very well. It's been a mad game week, I think, of scores that are really high and scores that are really low. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the Dream Team did in all of this. I can see you all in the chat, so just give a couple of people some shout outs, some regulars. I'm seeing my boy Jano in the chat. Hey Jay. We've got Mark and FPL Integrity. Fox in the box. Hello, buddy. Hope you're well. So welcome everybody to the chat. So the Dream Team actually did quite well. The Dream Team got 76 points overall, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, so granted, we took a minus 48 points. So, all in all, it's not great, and it does, leave a rank of around 4 million. I think it says there on the screen, 4 million. So not fantastic, but that isn't what the Dream Team is all about. The Dream Team is about choosing the players that we think will make the Dream Team, or the Kings of the Game Week as it's now called. And we actually have managed to equal our best. So when I bring Graham in a minute, he's going to be very happy. I know that. But yeah, we've definitely managed to equal our best. So Graham's pick of Costa, fantastic. I'm pretty sure he's made it in. And I think my last minute change to Calvert-Lewin might have actually got us in. But let's have a quick look, see how he did. We didn't have Allison. I forgot that we put Castanone in. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So we had him, we had Costa, and we had... we've equaled our best. Okay, I'm going straight to Graham. I'm bringing Graham in on this. He needs a piece of this action. So, welcome, Graham. We've done it. We've not only equaled our best, buddy. We've actually beaten it. I completely forgot about Castanone. How brilliant is that?
That's absolutely amazing. Brilliant. So we've equaled the best, haven't we?
We've not even equaled it. We've got the best. We've actually picked 3 picks. We've managed to do it. Can't believe it.
Awesome. Yes, well done everyone.
Yes, well done everybody in the stream chat. Well done. So yeah, we had Castanone there. And we had Costa, which was Graham's pick, and then we had Calvert-Lewin, which was my last minute change. So we had Aguero in that spot in the last stream. And then when I got off of the stream, I was aware from Ben Dinnery, if you don't follow him on Twitter, make sure you go and check him out, about injury news, that Aguero looked nowhere near likely to play, that his knee was still giving him some bother and he hadn't been training with the group. So I thought, put a tweet out. And initially I was like, should we move to Martial? And of course I completely forgot that we'd put Martial in. So I took it upon myself. I was like, okay, I'm going to go with my next gut pick. And that was Calvert-Lewin. And I stuck him in. And because we had the captaincy on Aguero, I just left the captaincy on that spot, obviously, for Calvert-Lewin. So yes, worked out very well, thankfully. Can't argue that. And plus we did all right, Graham. I mean, we had Lamperty on the bench with 4 points, which I know was a shout last game week from somebody in the chat, so well done on that. And Mitchell with his 5 points as well on the bench. So, we've actually done all right there. If it wasn't for obviously needing to take quite a fair hit, to get most of these players in, we'd be decent OR by now. Oh, welcome, Boona. Hope you're good, buddy. So, yeah, we have had a brilliant week, and we have equaled and bettered our best with 3 of our players.
Fireworks time. Let's get 4.
Yes, now we got to make 4. Now we got to make 4. Can we do it? I can't believe the Son and Kane thing. I mean, we had Son in the week before, I think. That's madness, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people got rid of him, didn't they? And then he goes and bangs, and now everyone be going, "Oh, come back, Son." So yeah, that's the way of FPL and players trying to get on them at the right time.
Exactly, and the fact that it's quite amazing that 2 Aston Villa defenders have made it into the Dream Team, and yet Martinez didn't make it in, even though he got his clean sheet and penalty save. So That is nutty, isn't it?
That is crazy because the reason why them two probably got it is because of Martinez.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, he's just missed out there then.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So let's get choosing this week. And yeah, guys, so just to remind everybody, it is just for this game week. We don't need to worry about overall points or anything, just however many players we think will make the dream team or the Kings of the Game Week as it's now called. And every week the guest, because sometimes we switch it up, sometimes Graham has a bit of a rest, and they always get to choose one player that they like the look of for the game week. Great shout on Costa last week, Graham, great shout. And he's going up in price like nobody's business at the moment, so if anyone had him in their actual teams, they're in happy days at the minute. Who are you going to go with this week as a bit of a mix it up? Are we going goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, forward?
I thought about it. I had about 4 options. I mean, it's the same with the captaincy this week. For captaincy, there's lots of options.
Yeah.
But
true.
I'm going to back. I feel Harry Kane edges it over Jimenez for me.
Okay. So
I think against Newcastle, Harry gets in there.
So who are we taking out for Harry then, Graham? Is it Martial?
Should we?
Or are we gonna? Yes. Or are we gonna get rid of Brewster and go 3 up top, and bring Alba down a couple of places?
I mean, looking at Man United at the moment, obviously they didn't look great coming out, and cup games don't really count for much in my book. So I would take Martial out at the moment.
Okay. Martial then. Right. So Graham's pick is Martial to Kane. Locked in. That can now not be changed by the chat. So I'm going to have a little think here on who I would like to do. Let me have a quick look at the fixtures here.
See, because I always decide before stream, but you haven't, have you? You're just
haven't. I quite like the spontaneity of it. I'm kind of with the group on this one. A bit of a kind of, let's see how I feel when we get to the chat.
There are good fixtures there, isn't there?
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with... He's been a gap pick for me for a little while. And I'm going to take out... I'm going to take out Fraser, who was my pick of last week. I mean, that guy, he has to do something soon, doesn't he? Honestly, he really does. I mean, he needs to start for a first thing. They need to start him. So if anyone watches the Wildcats, you'll know that the lads, they call me Psychic Nim because I have these dreams about football players doing something, and they tend to more often than not come true. And on Monday, Sunday night, I had a dream that Newcastle were going to score 7-0, and of course they did so last night. But I also had a dream that Fraser was amongst the goals. Now, he did try, from all the kind of commentary that I see, he really tried his best to get that goal for me to make my dream come true. Bless him. But I have a bit of a sneaky feeling for Zaha this week. So Zaha is my pick of the week. I know he's up against Everton.
I think that game will be end to end, though. I think goals both ends, absolutely.
Yeah. I just have a bit of a feeling, and I'm not really sure why. So, yeah. Okay then, chat. Let's start at the back. Who are we going for in the goalkeeper position? Let's have some options in the chat. Please go now.
Dream team open to the chat.
Dream team
Get your players
open.
in.
Get them in. Let us know. So we had Pickford last week. Do we risk him again? I know a lot of people are going to say Martinez, probably, because he did so well. It's just a feeling, Jay, about Zaha. Yeah, just a feeling at the moment. So
he's in form.
yeah. Just a bit nervous that we might break him should we put him in the, in the dream team.
Curse him.
Yeah, exactly. And I've just got him in on a wild card, so I don't really want to do that. But yeah, I guess we could go with Martinez. Why not? Let's do it. There's a reason why he's in everybody's wild card. Okay, then. Now, our defense. We're in a bit of a muddle here. Do we stick with Digne in defense? Let me have a yes no in the chat, please, on Digne. Lucas Digne. Is he gonna stay? Is he gonna go? He's 6 million. So if he goes, who are we switching him for? It means quite a lot of cash. Quite a lot of cash, you know. Could be the week that Crystal Palace actually don't do as well, or they could continue to be, you know, quite good at the back and be difficult for us. If anyone's got any thoughts on who they might like to switch. Now remember, we had 2 Aston Villa defenders that made the dream team this week. So,
unbelievable, Jeff.
Unbelievable, Jeff. So, let's not necessarily go with obvious picks here, people. Let's not go with the obvious. That's just us, you know, that's not fun.
Try and think outside the penalty box, guys. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Differentials normally make it.
Okay, so how are we doing? We've got 1 keep. We got a yes, Digne, set piece potential. So there's a couple of yeses, no, keep. Think it seems to be pretty unanimous on keep. Take out Digne for Chilwell or Thiago Silva. Interesting. Do we keep Castanone then? Do we think he can do it 2 weeks in a row? That's the question.
Not against Man City.
Not against Man City. We could sell him to free up some cash. What are we thinking about the Liverpool lads? Maybe this week again against Arsenal. Who else do we have? Oh, Chelsea. I mean, I think we need to get on some Chelsea this week given their fixture against West Brom.
I agree, totally agree. Definitely Chelsea assets, but
yes.
Also it would be nice to see some of the ones that haven't yet featured have a game first. But the ones that have played, like Werner's got to score, hasn't he, against that West Brom defence?
Wow.
That's just an example of someone that you could choose.
Yeah.
Reece James.
Yeah, we could go James at the back. Of course, Ziyech getting his hat-trick last night as well was quite interesting. So we've got, what have we got here? Sace or Reece James. Semedo. Do we think he's going to start? Semedo.
I know, it's a tough one, isn't it? Absolute quality player, but do you just throw him in?
Let's have a look if he's there. He is 5.5, so he's exactly the same price. We could take a punt. I mean, that's what the dream team's all about, isn't it?
Exactly.
You know? Come in.
You have to do things like that.
Dream appearance, dream debut maybe for Semedo. Like that pick. Let's do that then. Okay, so Lamperty, Ayling, stick, twist. What do we think on that? Let me know on the chat. Do we stick with Ayling and Lamperty? And if not, who are we switching them for? I'll go to the 4.5 defender options. We could just, you know, troll me by getting KWP in. And just have him there on the with his assist last week. Oh my word.
I just want to forget about game week 1 and 2. It's all about 3 now.
Yeah, it is. Although I managed to make a bit of a plunder last night when I have my my wild card all done, all set up, ready for price rises. Price rises across the board apart from one player, Mitrovic, who hasn't gone up. And then last night I look and Podence is, and he's close, but he's not near to going up. So I'm like, oh, I've already got 0.1 on Costa and things like this, so they might go again. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll leave him there. I'll leave him. I won't put Podence in. Like, I'll look at this tomorrow night, give it one more night and see how I go. And literally woke up this morning, like, and did the whole, oh no. Head slap thing of what a rookie mistake. You knew you were probably going to want Podence in your wild card, and now he's gone up 0.1. It was just one of those moments where I was like, oh, you are not having a good one to start with, are you? Really stuffing myself over at the moment. Okay then, we are twisting, I think, by the looks of it. We have Defo, Burnley, Taylor. I mean, did I hear there was an injury in Burnley at the moment that might not make it?
Tarkowski, I think.
Yeah, Tarkowski. So the Burnley defence might not be, but then I guess Taylor's attacking, so, you know, that's cool. Oh, Nuclear, welcome to the chat. Actually, it was the 1 week, if you go check out my video, it's the 1 week where my vice-captain actually did worse than my captaincy. So my vice-captain was Salah and my captain was Aubameyang. So the curse at least was, I won't say it was lifted, would you, Graham? I'd say it was shifted.
Dented.
It was shifted. It went from to having that whole captain vice captain curse, but the rest of my team doing actually all right, and then to not having that curse anymore and the rest of my team failing miserably. So I actually would prefer that curse to come back and have the other thing. Where the rest of my team actually gets some points. That'd be nice, please. Thank you. Yeah. So, AGM, I'm afraid Kane has to stay. That was Graham's pick for the dream team. This isn't a wild card. This is a dream team. I'll chat a little bit about my wild card and Graham's wild card a little bit after we've sorted the dream team. So we'll go. But we've had. So, okay, I'm going to do a yes-no for Taylor in the chat, because that's Mark's pick. So, yes or no on Taylor. Ailing to Taylor. Yes, no in the chat. Now, go. Vote. Let me know. Doherty in versus Newcastle. Has to be his time. That's a great shout, actually. I quite like that, Graham. What about you?
Okay, but Newcastle attacking wise are good. It's just they can't defend at the moment. So, but like most of the games, it's going to be end to end.
Yeah.
But Doherty is an attacking defensive asset. So in regards there, yes.
Okay.
But definitely not for the clean sheet.
Yes. Okay, we've got more yeses and nos. We could do Lamperty to James as a possible option. What do we think? On that one, guys, we do have the money at the moment. But obviously if we want to put some cash up front to do a 3 up top, then we might have to consider. So maybe we'll just leave Lamperty where he is for the moment, Graham, and then come back. It sound like a plan?
Yeah. Go to the next.
Okay, cool. Aubameyang, people. Yes or no? I'm interested in this one. I'm going to see. I bet this is a no by a country mile by most people. But Aubameyang, are we keeping Alba? Yes or no? Let's vote in the chat now. Did you keep Aubameyang on your wildcard, Graham?
That would be telling. No, I'll be honest with you. He's not in there. He's not in my team anymore.
No, okay. And there's a lot of no's. So Alba is gonna go. Oh. I
feel like Aubameyang could still score against Liverpool.
I'm telling you now, he's gonna troll us. He'll end up getting a brace against Liverpool or something stupid like that. I bet you any money. Anyway, he should have been my pick this week, shouldn't he? I should have left him in. Should be like, yeah, because we all think it's going to be fine. And then all of a sudden, no, it won't be.
Yeah, and that's how two Aston Villa defenders end up in the dream team.
Exactly that. Hey, FPL Nerd, and welcome, Gearson. And Little Saints, welcome everybody to the chat, and Richard. Wow, thanks guys for watching. If you're new here, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It's all helpful. And also go on over and check Graham out at Fantasy Football Focus on his YouTube channel. But yeah, who are we going to switch Alba to? We've got Little Saints saying KDB all day long. We think KDB gonna make the dream team? What are we thinking here? Because, you know what, he didn't make it. I don't think he made it last week, did he? I can't remember. Let me open a new tab and we'll have a quick look-see. Did KDB make it last week? He didn't make it last week. So that's interesting. So we need some more out of the box picks, I think. I think KDB's fairly obvious, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's all right having a few obvious choices, but I think with the dream team, you get more or less a majority are players you don't think will be in there. So that's why we're going to have to, like you say, Nim, think outside the box a bit.
I think so. So, like, just like everyone, there's a lot of people saying KDB in the chat, and I think he's the really obvious one. But I'm wondering if we could go, you know, a bit out there instead, like Foden or something instead,
exactly.
as a bit
right
of a
next
pick.
to him in the same team, picking up the points.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that's a possible thought process. But Jake says keep Alba. Man, I'm with you. I feel like we should be keeping Alba. I don't know why, but I just feel like we should be. Like, all of us are just, you know, selling him in our wild cards, and I just feel like we're all gonna regret it. I do. I was the one on the Wildcats last week that was like, am I the only one that's going to get to Gameweek 3 and be like, I really don't want to sell Aubameyang? And they were all like, yes, you are. And I'm still a bit like that now. I still feel like even on my wildcard, I'm like, you know, should I really be selling him? Because he's one of these ones that's just going to tick away.
Nice, that's more like it, chat. Foden or Podence. Those are the sort of differential, you know, players that show that glimmer. They're always going to be involved.
Yeah.
And, you know, KDB could get the 2 assists for Foden's 2 goals. And Foden goes, oh, I've got a bonus point better than you and the goals. So I made it and not you.
I agree. Okay, so we'll put that to the vote then. This is going to be a City spot for Aubameyang. Well, we've made that choice. So, chat, give me Foden, KDB, go. I think most people are going to vote for KDB, but just remember, this is the dream team. Odd things happen. So, you know, go as mad as you like. Go as mad as you like on this. Even if there's somebody else in the City midfield that you think might do better, let me know in the chat. Nukia says, why are you picking the dream team judging on different options? It should be the guys who will bring in the most points. Of course, but if we look at last week's dream team, it's hardly ever the people you expect it to be that make the dream team. So because they're individual players who've done best out of everybody, it's hardly ever the ones that you think it will be. So with KDB, he was an obvious choice last week and he did very well, but he didn't get the most points. He wasn't the, you know, he didn't make the midfield because he didn't get as much as a Son, a Mane, Saha or Costa, for instance. So that's why we're just trying to think outside of the box with our picks and not make them quite so obvious, because they're not always the really obvious ones, effectively. So what do we have? Okay, everyone's saying KDB. Okay, the group is going for KDB, but I'm just going to put this out there. You know, I'm just feeling like I think he will do well. But I'm just not sure he'll make the dream team, is what I'm thinking. But I'm going to go with the chat, because that's what this is about. It's a collaborative effort. So, Grealish. Does he stay or does he go? Now, a lot of Podence chat. I mean, what I don't want to do is make this basically a wildcard team. Are you with me there, on Graham? Do you like, you understand what I'm trying to say there, don't you? Like, I don't want to make it a template wildcard team, because we did that in the first game week, didn't we? And it didn't pay off. It didn't pay off, because the thing when you make a team for the season with your wild card, you're making your team for several weeks. With this team, we just need them to do well in game week 3, and that's my concern with making this 2 template kind of, wild card template that everyone's doing at the moment. I mean, if we do that, we run the risk of not really filling the team with those out there picks that could do really well that we're not paying any attention to at the moment. So that's why I'm a little bit kind of, should we really go for Podence? But I'm happy to be voted on this one, guys. Grealish to Podence, or is there somebody else that you think we should go for? Let me know in the chat. Graham, what are you thinking on it? Or do you think Podence is going to make the dream team?
I think he looked very promising, but it's just, there's so, like, it's like a Man City. There's so many options in that same team that could score. Like J&O says with Leeds, so many options in the same team. Is it going to be him outscoring Jimenez up the top?
Yeah.
And another thing, I mean, West Ham, everyone expected them to lay down against Arsenal, and they didn't do that at all. They put up a really good fight. I don't know what Moyes had eaten for dinner, how he managed to conjure that one up. But they could do the same against Wolves. And that's the Premier League for you. Anyone can beat anyone. Never, ever doubt anyone.
Yeah. But I agree with that, just that thought that, I think he'll do well, but it's like, is he going to do well enough to get to the dream team? This is why in the whole, I think it's probably about 10 streams we've done on this now, we've only ever managed to predict 3 correctly because it's incredibly difficult and different to get the highest scorers out of everybody, isn't it, really? Let's be honest. Okay, so we got a couple for keeping Grealish, so I will leave Grealish in. I like that. I'm good with keeping Grealish, that's fine. Costa made it, so do we really think Costa's going to do a double week? We don't get many that make a double in the dream team, do we? So Sarah Hamid says, I say Klitsch instead of Costa. Yeah, we could do the switch there. Anyone? Yeah. Are we good with that? I like that. Let's do that. I think that's...
Sheffield United are missing Egan, aren't they, because of the red card? So I'm not sure who will come in for Egan, but
Sheffield United just don't look the team that they were.
No, that's not going to help them, is it?
No. Okay, so we'll get in Klitsch. And he goes. There we go. That one's just for you, Salah. Okay. So I'm thinking this Sterling spot needs to be somebody Chelsea related. What do you think? Shall we go with a Havertz? Or do we know if any of the other midfielders are Chelsea mids are back from injury yet?
Jorginho linked with Arsenal today.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
That is, we could do with that kind of player, actually. I think he'd be great.
Yeah, we need someone that just does the job in there. That's all you need. Doesn't have to be too fancy, just as long as they do the job.
So, because of Pulisic and Ziyech, shall we go with Havertz in midfield? Like it could just be the week where he trolls everybody, couldn't it? I like that Mount shout, Jay. Okay, guys, let's have a vote in the chat. Let's go Mount or Havertz. Vote now. Let me know in the chat which one you would like to go in for Sterling, please. And whoever gets the most votes will go into the dream team.
JNO saying Arteta trying to get the player that Pep missed out on in Jorginho.
Ah, great bit of knowledge there. Well remembered. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, it's a good shout. I think that kind of central midfield spot, we were all thinking Willian might move into it, and he hasn't really used him there yet, has he? So, you know, could well fit Jorginho in there. Yeah, that could be interesting.
I mean, I look at Xhaka, and everyone literally wanted him out, and I have to admit, I was one of them as well. Guilty, completely guilty. Wanted him gone for useless, not doing anything. Arteta came in, and look at Xhaka now. He's just essential to our squad. So I'm in the thought of if Arteta likes the player, then yeah, just go for it. See what he can get out of that player. It might bring more to his game.
Yeah. I agree with that for sure. Yeah, guys, so we could go with Mount. That looks like the chat are liking that as a possible out there pick. So I'm gonna put Mount in, and we did have a couple of shouts you know, on Man United, so you know, I think maybe we could go with a Man United up front for Brewster. Should we go Martial up top, give him a second week in the dream team, see if he can make it?
Thoughts on Martial, guys?
Let's have, since we've got Chelsea midfield, let me know in the chat whether you like the idea of Martial going in for Brewster as a bit of a shout.
Or more pie. Hat trick.
Yeah.
I mean,
we just keep leaving Martial in there until he actually does something. I should have done that with Fraser, really, shouldn't I? Just left him in there until he actually done something. It's like 1 week. This is the week now that he's not in the dream team. I bet you any money. Because it'll always be the week when we don't have him in that he actually does something. It's crazy, isn't it? We've got don't trust Man United at all. But yeah, Jay makes a great point. Brighton are, you know, a good team for United to be facing right now. So, I mean,
Noah in the chat say this is team for real. Are there some handicap rules? I don't know if you were here earlier, Noah, but the idea of the dream team, mainly as discussed earlier, it can be very differential, and often you'll see players in there that you don't think's going to make it. And also, it's a community pick. So because it's a community, there's a lot more people making these choices. So the team is bound to be different to someone picking a singular team for a game week. Just so you know, Noah, and if you weren't in earlier, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, no, perfect. Thanks, Graham. Yeah, no, that's great. So Noah, just as I put it on screen here, just for yourself, this was last week's Dream Team, or Kings of the Game Week as it's called now, and we're basically trying to do the same, but for one game week. Next game week, who we think will get the most points and make the Dream Team. So last week we managed to predict 3 right, Castanone, Costa and Calvert-Lewin. And the hope is that we can beat that, because 3 has been our best so far. So that's why the team is a little bit out there. We're just trying to basically, you know, hit on the 1 game week effectively. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be a lot of love for Martial, does there really? Which I'm surprised about. I mean, it's... I think because he hasn't done anything, last week, and then he didn't play last night, did he? I think people are kind of going, meh, you know, they're overlooking him a little bit. But that's exactly when they end up hitting the dream team, isn't it?
Exactly. They creep in. Boom, I'm back, baby.
Yeah, hello, I'm back.
Put me in.
Here's my brace against Brighton when nobody's paid any attention to me whatsoever. So yeah, I like him for a shout. But I will go with the majority here. So you guys, if you do not want Martial, who do you want? And in this forward spot, and it has to be a forward because we need to fill out the forwards first before we switch any more around. So yeah, let me know. I mean, Ings could be a good one this week, I'm thinking. Mitrovic, obviously, they both did very well last game week, and they both have quite good fixtures. Obviously, Burnley having that Tarko injury at the back, you know, leaves Ings open to do his thing. And
Chris Wood.
Yeah,
Burnley
lots
v
of people.
Southampton defence.
Yeah, lots of people going with with Wood at the moment.
Yeah.
We could go with Wood. People like that. Watkins versus Fulham. Ooh, interesting. That could be a shout, couldn't it? I like that. That's an out there pick. What do we think on that one then?
J&O says, Watkins! A bit like Wilson!
Yeah. Hi, Grekler. Yes, we've got some Ado in. I know you're feeling sick about it, buddy, but, you know, the vote chatted for it.
The community has spoken.
The vote chatted. Oh, my word. Hey, Glenn. Welcome. Hope you're good. Glenn will be joining us on the FPL Wildcats tonight, everybody, so make sure you come and check that out. I am doing a double stream this week. Busy. Antonio versus Wolves. That's a nice shout, Ryan. I like that one. Okay, then I'm gonna give you a couple of options. Let's go a bit out there with this one then. We're gonna vote in the chat. We got Wood, Antonio, or Watkins. Go. Whoever has the most votes will take this Brewster spot because we can afford all of them. So let me know in the chat now. Let's get those votes in. Damon says, Alisson or Martinez this week? I own both. Wow, that is a lot of money in the goalkeeper position.
Those are expensive gloves, my goodness.
They are expensive gloves. Alisson more saves, but probably less likely to keep a clean sheet. Ooh, probably lean towards Martinez. As much as I hate
Emiliano.
saying that. So James, we still got the Calvert-Lewin spot that we can switch, buddy, where we could put Jimenez. So I'm going to come to that one in a second. But wow, there is a lot of Watkins love.
Actually, it's pasted there.
Oh, Salah, that's cheating.
That catches me out every time.
That's cheating. We can't be having that many. Oh, Little Saint says Che. Now I've just sold him on my wildcard, so that could be a brilliant shout. That could be absolutely.
It'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
Perfect. At least if he's not doing something for me, he'd be doing something for the dream team.
Yeah, it's always nice, isn't it? If you do have a bad game week, if the dream team's doing all right, it perks your mood, doesn't it, really?
Yeah. So we've got Mark on Watkins, Jay on Watkins, we've got Salah on Watkins lots of times.
Eddie's calling.
Oh, yes, bring Nonna up. It is her dream team after all. So, yeah, we've got 3 Watkins to 2 Woods and 1 Antonio at the moment. So, I think we might have to go with Watkins.
Ollie Watkins.
Ollie Watkins. Where am I going? What Fulham, is it?
Yeah, Salah Ahmed Richarlison looks right in form.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Richarlison looks amazing at the moment. I've just done that thing where I type all the players in. There we go. Watkins is in. Okay. Calvert-Lewin, people. We have 5. Oh, oh, hang on. Wait a second. We've got a red flag, people. I'm going to need some sort of horn for this in future. But too many Aston Villa players. So, couple of shouts in the chat. Everyone seemed to like Watkins. So, what about a bit of a switch up in midfield and we take Grealish out for a Man United midfielder? How do we like the idea of maybe getting Rashford in that spot? Let's hear it in the chat, please. Hi, Varun. Welcome. Yeah, anybody new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. It's all very much helpful and very much appreciated. And your name should appear somewhere on the screen. Yeah, so couple of... oh, the goat says Nketiah. Jay says Greenwood. Yeah, I know, but I kind of want him in my actual like wildcard, Jay. So I don't want to curse him by putting him in the dream team. Oh, now everyone's followed suit. Oh no, surely it has to be Rashford, people. Oh mate, it's looking very much like people want Greenwood, so I'm gonna have to go with the pack. Okay then.
They've spammed their way in there.
They have. That means he'll do nothing this week. Oh dear Lord. Okay, cool. So, guys, we need to know in the chat, please, while I'm doing this, whether we're keeping Calvert-Lewin, and if we are not, who are we switching him to, please? Do let me know in the chat now. Go, 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 go. Starting orders. We currently have 11.6 to spend up top. So we have quite a lot of cash. We can literally have anyone you like. But remember, we want it to be, you know, a little bit fun, don't we? We want it to be...
differential.
Differential.
A bit of an out there pick.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Ryan, DCL is... possibly a good shout this week, but I mean that Crystal Palace defence, they should be a lot tougher, I think, to break this week than, you know, the teams that Everton have faced previously. So for that, I am thinking we should switch it up. Now I love that shout. Jesus coming from Jake, that's a great shout. Lacazette from Julius, love that. Oh, yes, these are the kind of shouts we are talking about. So, yes. Oh, welcome, Noisy Boy, to the chat. Yeah, this is just, this isn't my wild card. This is a 1 week punt on Gameweek players for the wild card. So that's why we're kind of going out there. We're thinking, well, I'm thinking that Calvert-Lewin against Palace, you know, when we could have somebody else against a kind of slightly better team or more in form, could be a lot of fun. So... Oh, Jacob says Obafemi for Calvert-Lewin. That's out there. Yeah. Bamford versus Sheffield United. Yeah, I like that one as well. He's done very well, hasn't he, Graham, since coming to the Premier League, and has been a nice little cheap price point for people. Has he made it into your wild card?
Bamford has not made it into my wild card, no.
Interesting. He hasn't made mine either at the moment.
I think it's all very well, but my gut is I feel it will fade out after a while. Yeah. And then Rodrigo will start knocking on his door.
Ah, interesting. Yeah. That was my concern with the whole Podence thing. Semedo coming in, Traore. I think they can put Podence up top. So that could possibly, but then they've got that new fella that they bought as well, haven't they, as a forward?
Silva.
I was like Costa Silva, I can't remember which one, but yeah, Silva. So yeah, you know, I'm not sure. I mean, can you drop Podence on his like form? I don't know that you can, but then I thought that about Saka, and he was dropped. So you know, but yeah, Jay makes an excellent point. Neto could go, so yeah. I love Jimenez this week, but I am loving some of the more out there shouts. So I think we've mostly got couple of Jesus's. Mark, I love the Ings shout this week. Yeah, I really do. It's too many to choose from this week. This is the thing. This is why I wanted to use my wildcard. So I was asked earlier by Nuclear. Yep, I've used my wildcard, Nuclear. You can check out my video on this channel when we're done on the live stream. Used it. I'm in it. I'm living it. So's Graham. Graham's wildcarding too, and so is Jano in the chat too. So we are
You're not alone.
3 content creators that are living the wildcard right now as we speak. And yes, I can tell you that, you know, I am a bit concerned about going from 3 Southampton players to no Southampton players. Not in defence, that bit I'm happy about, although KWP is probably going to end up being like one of the budget picks of the season now, probably for his attacking form. But I am a bit concerned about losing Che, and I have seriously considered going with Ings on my wildcard. Have you considered Che or Ings at all, Graham, on your wildcard?
Yes, Ings I did consider. I mean, it's been a merry-go-round up front.
Yes, yeah, there's so many options. That's what I was trying to get at, is that literally the main reason I wildcarded was I was 2 up top, and it felt very restricted at the moment with so many forwards doing so well. Did you have the same issue, Graham?
I did, because the trouble was, before this game week, terrible score, but all these defences shipping so many goals, it made more players an option. There's going to be a goal fest, so your midfield and your attack, that everyone can pretty much score.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I mean, it's so difficult, isn't it? So what's this? Nim, the chat said Watkins and Grealish should just get rid of Nyland for another 4. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, to not have so many Aston Villa players, we could get rid of Nyland for another 4 mil. But I think, you know, okay, we could do that. I think let's do that, because the chat did vote on Grealish, didn't they? So let's go with that. We just need a goalkeeper that's 4 mil. Who do we fancy this week? Who are we thinking? We'll go with Macy. Why not? There we go. Oh, is that a super chat? I see.
That is the super chat from Salah Ahmed.
Oh, brilliant.
Nyland for another 4 million keeper, so can keep Grealish.
Perfect. Done and done. So, actually, 8 Ball is missing this week. And just so we know, I think he owes something, doesn't he? I think he does. Because I'm just saying.
Yeah, forgot about that.
I'm just saying. I don't see Sterling in this dream team this week. So, interesting that he's missing from the chat this week, 8 Ball, with your super chat.
Yeah, he's disappeared.
He's disappeared. So, yeah, thank you very much, Sally. Your name should have popped up on screen, and that has been done for you on request. So, thank you very, very much. Did we actually decide on a forward here? Because we kind of got like waylaid a little bit, didn't we? We were talking about wildcards a bit. Ings. Oh my gosh, there's so many options this week. Jimenez,
Werner versus West Brom.
Werner. We do have Mount though. I mean,
yeah.
You know, we could have a double up in Chelsea. We could. Che was a nice shout as well. That was quite out there. Quite like that. Yeah. Because he's got to at some point, hasn't he? I mean, he's looked really good the last 2 weeks. And then the keepers have just been saving them like nobody's business. I wish I'd been a little more patient. I'm not going to lie to you with my team and given it maybe another week or 2. But coming off of the back of my worst game week ever in FPL, it was too difficult. It was too difficult. I could not wildcard, to be honest. And I was a little bit worried that I get priced out of players that I'd really want. And then I forgot to put Podence in last night, so I did get priced out of place. Oh, absolute clanger, Graham, I tell you. Not so good. Oh yes, Jesus was a big shout in the chat, wasn't he? I think I'm going to put Jesus in, actually.
Yeah, I've seen Jesus in the chat many times.
Yeah.
Always capable of being in there, especially with KDB providing.
Yeah, agreed. Okay then. Jesus takes it. And then I think we are there. Now, before I kind of hit go on this, is there anyone else we think we would like to change? Bearing in mind that obviously we've got a bit of cash in the bank, but you know, playing all of these players is going to be pretty difficult choosing who to play anyway. So yeah, I think we might want to stick possibly where we got. No, Lil Saints, we didn't. Zaha was my pick for the week. So whoever guests with me and myself, we get one pick each a week just to kind of start the game week off. And my pick was Zaha this week, and Graham's was
Costa.
That was last week.
Oh, sorry, I thought you was on about last week. Kane. Let's do that again. Kane.
Sorry, hang on. Bear with me. Retake. This isn't live whatsoever. So, my pick this week was Zaha. And Graham's pick was...
Kane, not Costa.
I love if you like Kane. Like really deep voice. Like Harry Kane. Yeah, so... Jake says, personally think Doherty instead of Digne. Yeah, I like that, but the chat has voted. They have voted.
I liked what Ryan said in the chat earlier. Like, people take their wild card so serious. I think because it's a chip, they think precious. But like Ryan said, he said, if you need it, your team needs it, you use it. Yeah. Don't feel bad about it. It's your team.
True.
You make the decisions, you know, and I think we're often guilty of doing that. And FPL is one big mind game, isn't it? Because when you don't get the points, it's the way it can make you feel, because you put so much into making that team thinking, oh, they're bound to score against a Southampton defence and they get nothing, you know, that sort of decision. But that's just FPL. Just people just try and enjoy it. That's all I say. And like Ryan said, don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, exactly. So I had McCarthy, who I was just like, nope. I had KWP there, I was a bit like, nope. I had Lewis, that is possibly injured.
Yeah,
so that was
bad.
A nope. I had Peters that came on 40 minutes and then scored an own goal for -2 points. So he was like, you're the first one out. Bye. Ta-da. Close the door behind you. Not coming back. Thank you very much. Giving him sass, I was like, nah, you're gone. And then I had Aaron saying maximum in my team that looked injured, possibly not injured anymore, didn't play last night in that 7-0 thriller, but could possibly be back on the weekend. However, I'm just not sure that I was in love anyway with the fact that having him in.
He looks off form for some reason, not what he was doing before.
Exactly. So he was a nope, you can go. And yeah, so apart from and I had who else did I have? Sushek in midfield, who again has been one of those ones that have looked a bit like, really promising, but they're not really delivering anything. And then Che and Brewster up top, that I was a bit like, don't love this combination, really could do with 3 up top. And I had a bit of cash in the bank, so I could have done one move, but it would have taken quite a lot of hits, I think, to have, really have kind of sorted out all of those problems, I guess.
Yeah, because you probably could have corrected a few, and then them other problems would have still been problems, to your point.
Exactly.
So, that was like me. I had 4 injuries and 1 form fire. Like, that was McCarthy in goal. I've seen enough of Southampton defensively. I don't know why we all... 4.5, McCarthy's great. Why did we all think that?
I don't know.
Baffled.
Absolutely baffled.
McCarthy, if you're watching, thanks.
Yeah, yeah. You just know he's gonna make the dream team this week now, don't you? He's gonna like
Yeah,
make
he'll
2
take his
penalty
gloves
saves or
off.
something
Yeah.
like that, you know. Okay, I'm putting Watkins in, people, because he was quite like heavily touted. I'm gonna take him out for Klitsch. Now, don't panic if they're on the bench. The rule, we're gonna go with the rule that we're gonna allow them. I know technically the dream team doesn't have a bench of, good players, but I think that, given that this is quite a hard task we have of already choosing, who we think will make the dream team, as we've only done it 3 times, I think it's okay to include some players on the bench. So don't worry if I've taken somebody out there for you, but this is the dream team for the week. Now we just have to choose a captain. Now, if you're new here to the dream team stream, the captain always has to be somebody completely bonkers. Now, I know last week I went Calvert-Lewin, but that spot was technically Aguero's, so it was quite bonkers. So I just left it in the same spot because obviously we were getting quite close to the deadline and I had to make a decision for the dream team. So yeah, let me know in the chat who you think we should captain. And bear in mind, the captaincy bears nothing really on all of this because we're not going for overall points. This bit is literally just fun. This is just fun. So you guys can go as bonkers as you like. And if we get enough votes for that person in the chat, then I will make them captain. So give me who you think should be captain in the chat. We've got 1 vote. Jay Watkins in the
Mount,
chat.
1-1.
1-1. Come on then, people. Let's see this.
Who's captain? Bonkers captain. Crazy captain. Semedo.
Love it. On his debut, captain. That's a good pick. So we got
Watkins,
2 for Watkins.
2-1 to Watkins.
42 people watching right now. Come on, guys. Get it in the
Mount.
chat.
Mark Whitaker did say Mount, but message retracted. So 2-2. Mount and Watkins.
Oh, okay.
Watkins. Mark's changed his mind
Early lead for Watkins. Jumping on the bandwagon there. Aziz says Jack Grealish, captain, trust me. Ooh, like that. I like that. And guys, yeah, do keep note of who you actually think who could be bonkers. Pick on a piece of paper and tweet at me or Insta at me who you think, and then obviously if you've got it right next week, I'll give you a shout out on the stream. Just let me know if you think anybody completely bonkers is the person to captain, and if you get it right, I'll give you a shout out on the stream. And yeah, for sure. Okay, blessings, thank you on the shout and Podence. We've already made the team now, so we're trying to choose the captain for the game week.
Triple captain.
Wow, triple captain Coleman. Love it. What a shout on that one. Okay, so Mark's a Brentford supporter, so hence the Watkins pick.
I think window beer review with Thomas fits in well with this because now it's a Budweiser man of the match team, isn't it?
Yes.
So if you do manage to get anything window beer review, make sure you have a Budweiser.
Yeah, for sure. Jay's like, I get a shout out anyway. What else am I playing for? Let me think on that one, buddy. I'll buy you a tutu. How's that?
J&O in a tutu. Would it be a West Ham one?
Oh yeah, I could just see him there with his daughters giving it a bit of tutu. Okay,
guys, captaincy.
I think at the moment it seems to be Watkins, doesn't it? He's taken the early lead.
Yeah,
so...
he's got more votes than anyone else. Ollie Watkins.
Cool.
Captain.
Okay. Oh, and Jay has dealed. Everybody sees this in the chat. He said Watkins.
Clip that.
He said Watkins. Clip it. If Watkins does end up being the captaincy choice out of this team this week, then I will buy J&O a tutu.
Bottle of Bud.
A tutu. And he will have to take a picture and share it. That is the deal, my friends. That is the deal. I'm going to stick the vice captain, who was, I think Semedo was the second most chosen, wasn't he? Out of the chat. Should we put the vice captaincy on him?
We've got 41 people watching now, guys, and only 27 likes. If you could hit that thumbs up button, that would be great.
Thank you. Cool. He said he'll wear it on the Wildcat stream. Hilarious. I love that. Fantastic, buddy. Okay then. Cool. So, who are we vice captaining? Was it? Oh, Mount was the second most, wasn't he? So we'll go with Mount for vice captain. Just to say, you know, that's who we think is gonna make it. He's gonna make it.
I'm just concerned at this moment. If JNO's going to do the 2-2 thing, what is Kurt going to come out with tonight?
Yeah, very true. My word, that will be interesting. That will be very interesting, because Kurt does love to go a bit out there, doesn't he?
Yes, indeed.
He does. Yes, indeedy, my friends. Cool. Okay.
You need a few more than that one. You'll need a whole box.
Fantastic. Okay then, guys, so this is the dream team for the week. Before we go, myself and Graham just do a bit of wildcard chat, bit of talk about game week 3, just a little bit for you guys. So let us know if you've got any questions in the chat, and we'll try our best to answer them. But anything we don't get around to now, we will be doing the Wildcats tonight with JNO, FPL TV, and Cursioi over on the FPL Wildcats channel. So, you know, make sure you're going over, subscribe, and hit that notification bell about 8:45. So anything we don't do now, question-wise.
Mictavius's comment. Hey. What have I walked into with the 2-2 thing? Oh,
yes,
brilliant.
Mictavius, if Watkins ends up being the captaincy pick of this team this week, so not making the dream team, but just ends up being the right captaincy pick this game week, then I have to buy JNO a 2-2. And he has to wear it. Not sure if that's like, whether that's worked out in his favour or against his favour, really, but that's how we've ended up. That's where we're at right now. Cool. Okay then, Graham, so your wild card, talk to me. Anything you wanna, I know everybody can go on over and check out Graham's channel, Fantasy Football Focus, if they want to know a bit more about his wild card, but let me know on your players, like where you're thinking on it, what your idea was with the wild card, you know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let me know.
Martinez, obviously 4.5, no brainer, especially in that price category. If you wanted sort of decent keeper quality, you have to look at 5 mil above, but at 4.5, he's in that decent quality. So definitely Martinez, especially after that penalty save. Think's no brainer. And then I've gone a bit boring, sort of Wolves defence, but with fixtures and Wolves looking good, get a Wolves defender in. I've gone for Cody because I know he's nailed at the moment.
So interesting. A lot of people going Sace, and you're going a bit differential with Cody. Now, that didn't work out so well with me with the whole Peters Taylor thing.
Oh, no.
Remember? But yeah, I like the idea on that. Something
it's just because Wolves have been buying so many players, and they've got a lot. They're going to be a new Man City now. And I know that Cody's nailed, so I just went for the safe option in that Wolves defence.
Yeah.
And then I've got Reece James, Chelsea. I think he looks good. I think going forward, Chelsea's defence should get stronger, touch wood, with Thiago Silva coming in there.
Are you not a bit concerned about him losing his place? That is the only bit about James that was worrying me, you know, whether or not he'll actually keep hold of that spot. Because they played last night, right? And did they... Let me have a look. Did James play in that lineup? He didn't know, right? So Aspilicueta came in for him, or is that right? I think that might be right.
There could be a question mark over whether James has forced his way ahead of Aspi or not.
Yeah.
But going over form, that's fine. I mean, I could tweak it last minute, but I did have a word with FPL Tips because he's Chelsea supporter.
Yeah.
And he was under the impression James might have made his way into that team. But definitely something to look out for, Nim. You're right there.
Yeah, well, so like, it's the sort of thing where he's done quite well, and last night shouldn't necessarily be a reflection on the fact that he won't start on the weekend. It could actually mean the opposite, I guess. It could mean that he would
Yeah.
definitely start on the weekend. It's just how long term is was my concern with him, with considering having Justin as well. I was a bit like, do I need two
I had
players that
that.
might not be, yeah.
Pereira coming back. That's a shame because I would have had Justin in there definitely. And that's what put me off as well. The thought of Pereira coming back, and then it's a bit of a waste having to make a transfer a few game weeks down the line. So, yes, things like that you do have to keep your eye on. But sometimes I will make moves like that and just go with my gut and hope, which
Yes.
not always the way, but I think we all play that way to a certain extent.
Well, I mean, you chose Costa correctly last week, and that worked out brilliantly for the dream team. So, sometimes you have to trust your gut on these things.
Yeah, he tore it up and he wasn't in my team. So, but that's why I love doing the dream team, because it's that glimmer of happiness in my depressing actual FPL team. I've gone with Podence in the midfield as the cheap option as well.
Yeah.
James Rodriguez, very impressive. He's bound to tick on with Everton's fixtures, and even not, he'd still be good against good teams. KDB is going to be a must. We've all heard about him being in that more attacking role now.
Yeah.
I think when he goes to Leicester next, no Wilfred Ndidi because of that muscle tear. So it just plays into KDB's hands. And then Son is in there. He's my captain against Newcastle because Newcastle leaked last game. Dubravka's missing, who I think was quite a good goalkeeper for Newcastle. Without him, a bit lost. And obviously, me and you, Nim, owned Jamal Lewis.
Yes.
And he got the boot to the face from Basuma.
Yes, he did.
So
literally, that's how that picture right there is pretty much me and FPL last game week. Literally, that was me getting smacked in the face.
Join the club.
Yeah, exactly that.
So I think because Tottenham are at home, and after what they've done last game, I think they'll get goals against Newcastle for sure.
Son is that one that is slightly annoying me in terms of whether to have him in or not. Because I obviously switched him for Bruno, which is where the big ouch came from for me. And now I'm a little bit like, should I be going back to him again? Was this a 1 week wonder? And I've got all those doubts kind of creeping in. So at the moment I've got a Sun team and I've got a non-Sun team. And I'm kind of hoping he'll play tonight. I think it's tonight they play. And that we'll get another look at him. And them in general. Of course, I'll be on the Wildcats, so you guys will have to come in the chat and keep me updated. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping we'll get a bit more of an idea about whether or not, they are just a team that we can't do without, at least for the near future. But obviously, it's quite an expensive price point, that Sun price point, isn't it? On your Wildcard, it feels like a lot.
Yeah, but if you get price rises, it's okay, and you can adjust and switch to someone else. Whoever's even if you went down to a Greenwood, because I think Greenwood's going to be banging them in this season.
Me too. I mean, I actually want him for this game week, so I've got a very nice kind of non-Sun team that I really like the look of. It's very balanced, and it would give me a really nice bench as well. If players don't play or things crop up going on down the line. But yeah, to go with like KDB, Salah, Son and Greenwood in midfield, and all Rodriguez, because I know a lot of people are getting Rodriguez in at the moment, that having those four in midfield does limit who you can go for up top, doesn't it?
Yeah, so up top I've got Jimenez, DCL and Werner.
Okay.
Werner's doing the West Brom next.
Yep.
Hopefully bags, otherwise he's cursed, isn't he, really?
Yeah,
He should
exactly.
be doing better with Ziyech
Yeah.
in that midfield, I think, out of anyone else.
Hmm.
Um,
And the thing about
DCL,
Werner is he can be switched to anybody at that price point, can't he? The only, apart from Kane, Aguero, and Vardy, you can literally switch him to anyone, and that's what makes keeping him on a wild card appealing beyond just seeing how he'll do
yeah,
against West Ham.
gives you that price point head start. So you're
Yeah,
just playing with his price in a way, and then you can just get off onto someone else, like you said. And then my bench, guess who's on there? It was my dream team pick, Costa. Had to have him in there. So
okay.
he's benched at the moment, bless him, but
Oh,
could come good again.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
could do.
Gabriel's on the bench because of Liverpool. There's going to be goals both ends in that game, I feel. But going forward, I think when Arsenal have David Luiz in there, when
Yeah.
he plays in the free, next to Gabriel, it could be a good thing for Arsenal, I feel.
Ah, nice. I like that.
And then the guy I know you like, Castagna, the Belgian for
Yeah.
Leicester.
Mhm.
I think he would even get an assist against Man City, but he's going to leak the goals, so that's why I wouldn't pick him at the moment. But
So, in all of that, I'm
yeah,
hearing, I'm not
yeah.
hearing a Salah.
No,
Okay, so you're going no Salah. And you haven't had him since the beginning of the season, right?
no, I haven't. No,
Okay, and so how many points are you on overall at the moment?
87. Let me see. I don't want to get ahead of myself and say I've got more points than I actually have.
I mean, I'm just gonna have a quick look at where I'm at actually, because finding it'd be interesting, I think, to see. Although I had an absolute shocker of a
I'm on
game week, so
87. Yeah, 87 points.
so overall, I think I'm less than you, and I've had Salah. So I had Salah for that hat trick.
Wow.
Yeah. So not as captain though, but yeah, I did have him in
But
my team.
you did have the Peters nightmare. When
Oh,
there's a
oh,
nightmare, it
this
eats
game
the
week. Ugh,
points.
write it off. Like, write it off. Like, literally. What? Give me two? No, that never
So
happened.
what are you thinking for your wild card then, Nim?
So, as I say, I've kind of got a sun and a non-sun team. It's very much as you kind of mentioned, although I've kept the kind of Mitchell 4.5 in
Yeah,
defence thing, and I've gone with Robertson at the moment instead of Trent. Just feel like I've been saying since pre-season that I feel like this is Robbo's year over Trent, so I feel like I should probably kind of,
go with your gut.
yeah, go with my gut on
Yep.
that one. And it's 0.5 cheaper, so that's quite nice. And then I think I have Sace at the moment, and then I have who is in that fifth midfielder spot? Oh, at the moment it's Justin. So yeah, that's who I've got there. And then KDB and Salah are locked. Podence is pretty much locked. And then it is going to be a decision between a Greenwood and, say, a Costa or a Zaha or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Or a Son and somebody really cheap, a 4.5 midfielder. And then up front, it's Calvert-Lewin and Werner are locked in. And then I'm kind of doing the switcheroo between Mitrovic and Jimenez and Ings at the moment. I kind of keep dancing between those three. And the reason I'm thinking I may go with Mitrovic is because I am thinking, like, especially if Werner doesn't do so well this week against West Brom, I am thinking that, he's that nice price point that I could get in a Jimenez or an Ings after seeing them again for another week, and then have the front three of Calvert-Lewin, Mitrovic, and, insert third striker effectively, whether that be, that could even be Jesus or Martial maybe if he does quite well. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's just those midfield spots now that are really kind of, and that third striker spot that keep kind of switching about a little bit.
Yeah, I
But
mean, formation makes you do that as well, doesn't it?
yeah,
Like in your decision making for your forwards, like are you going to be more playing the five in the middle, or what are you going to do three up top?
yeah. I
Just
definitely want to
depends.
have three strikers at top, even if I don't play them every week. And I would
Yeah,
never usually say that, but this seems like the type of season that calls for that, where you've got, where you've got a bench that will be able to provide. I mean, even this week with having a terrible game week and having a good bench, that hurts because you feel like, oh, I should have played that player over that player. However, there will come a point in the season where you will, Peters could have very easily just not come on in that match, and then I would have been getting Mitchell's 5 points off of the bench, so there will come a
yeah,
time in the season where those bench points at the moment are going to matter. So I think in previous seasons it's been very easy to say go as cheap as chips, in the bench, and don't worry about it, put all your money in midfield. But I think this is the type of season where we are going, with everything that's going on in the world, we are going to need a bit of a bench. And that's what I like about having that kind of, if I went for a Greenwood and a Zaha, for instance, being able to switch between those opponents for who takes the bench, or even a forward player, that's quite nice. Whereas obviously having Sun in and a 4.5, I'm going to be pretty much locked into playing Podence every week, for instance, and then I am going to have to maybe go a bit cheaper up front so that I can then upgrade, the that kind of spot, or leave some money in the bank. So yeah, still kind of thinking on those last three spots, but that's kind of where I'm at the moment. So we did have a couple of questions in the chat, which we'll try and get through. Adam says Havertz, Son, or Rodriguez this week. So I'm not sure if that's actually for captaincy or whether that's to bring in. But captaincy wise, at the moment, it would be Son for me out of those three. I don't know. What about you, Graham? Oh, it's actually on Son for you, isn't it?
yes, it's actually on him for me, mate. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay. Salah says keep Martial or swap for Watkins or Ings. Ooh, I would say give Martial one more week, is what I would say. What about you, Graham?
Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, Danny Ings keeps getting goals, doesn't he? But Martial, I feel, United haven't had as many games to get going. I think it's just a matter of time before they do get going. So just for now, Ings is what I'd say. Just for now, but I'm sure Martial will explode with goals.
Yeah. Oh, lots of Team Robbers liking that. Okay, Mark, this is the Dream Team stream on screen, buddy. If I got mine up, then I'd have to kind of sign out and sign back in and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, we're just doing a bit of kind of add on to the Dream Team stream because myself and Graham are wildcarding, so we just thought we'd do a little bit of extra chatting for you guys. Okay. Matt D, I'm going 4-3-3 right now. Ooh, like that. Not a bit, bit more of a shout out there, but I'm loving the three up front. Yeah, like Bamford is one of those ones that I like. Initially, I was like, yeah, get him in, but a bit like Graham, I'm a bit like that budget. He's great for that budget third pick, but then I'm feeling like there are so many forwards in that kind of 6 million mark that, I don't know whether it would almost be better to have that, at the very least, that third striker spot to be a 6 million, 6.5, so that I can always switch him, to somebody else in that kind of 6 million price tag, or go down or go up if need be. So that's my kind of thinking with Bamford. Emil says Doherty or Smedo. Again, I'm not sure if that's a transfer or whether you're just choosing which one to play this week. I'm assuming it's a transfer. Without knowing whether or not Semedo starts this week, that's a tough one, isn't it, Graham?
It is, and I like the looks of this ex-Barcelona player.
Yeah.
If he was to start, I'd pick Semedo straight away without even seeing him play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Doherty's going to ship goals. Like I said, Tottenham can't really defend, but going forward, Doherty is a good attacking option.
Agreed.
But is he going to be as good as he was at Wolves? So yeah, I'd go Semedo if I could.
They haven't quite got that whole overlap thing down yet, have they? With Doherty, like him being able to run forward and do the runs they used to do at Wolves, and and Sace is getting like so forward for Wolves, and they're learning their shape without Doherty as well. So that is a tough one. Yeah, I think out of the two, my gut would say Semedo, but I've never seen Semedo play, so I do feel like that comes with a caveat of that's quite risky. So if you have a good bench for, him maybe not being able to start directly with the team or whatever, for whatever reason, because he's new, it might not just start right off the bat, then just bear that in mind. Or maybe just hold off a week, get a look at him, and then decide. That's always an option as well. Okay, so Casey says, surprise, nobody's considering Nketiah. Ringing up Nonna. He's going to have a breakout season. You heard it here first. He says he was in the Dream Team week 1, I think, wasn't he, Graham? Oh, no,
yeah.
that was the first ever Dream Team stream. Him and Rashford, I think, were the two that made it in. But yeah, I agree. I think it's just rotation with him that worries people, probably. Gareth says, keep Bruno or Martial. I have both. Ooh, ouch. That's a difficult one.
Yeah, Bruno's made it harder by saying he'll share penalties with Rashford, basically. Playing mind games with the opposition, that is. And with FPL managers.
I'm not sure on that one. That's tough. At the moment, Martial hasn't done anything, so it's easy to say, move on Martial. Whereas Bruno did at least get an assist last night, I think, in the cup. So, at the moment when you think of it like that, then you just think, okay. But I have to say, there's something at the moment that just says to me Martial could be a bit of a shout, So, yeah, I'm not... I don't know on that one, is the honest answer. It very much, I think, depends on who you want to move them on to. But, there's every argument to keep them both this week and then get another look at them and then decide. Again, I know I've said that once before, but we are all being very reactive at the moment, I think, based on 2 games. And I'm a right one to talk after hitting my wildcard after 2 game weeks. And, maybe Graham will agree with me, but there's still a lot of learning to be done. You don't necessarily have to panic yet. United have to get better. They have to get full stop, don't they, Graham? They just have to.
Absolutely.
So if they want to compete this season, they're going out this weekend. They want blood. They want to go for it. So, it's very... I mean, I'm surprised we don't have United in this dream team, is what I'm saying. Like, literally. I'd be tempted to triple up and just see what happens. But yeah, okay. Just a couple more then, guys, because we will be covering loads of questions tonight on the FPL Wildcats, so I don't want to kind of go too nuts. But Harshal, last one, asks Jimenez or Jesus, guys. So... Graham, thoughts on this? I'm not sure how far away Aguero is, but I think I heard somewhere that he was like 4 to 6 weeks injury, so that pretty much should see Jesus start in that time frame. I mean, he can play two up top as well, so that's not necessarily a given that he'll lose his spot as soon as Aguero comes back. But what are your thoughts on those two? I mean, Jimenez Mr. Consistent, isn't he?
He's in really good form for Wolves. The only thing that puts you off a little bit, which I'm sure Wolves will find a way through, because I think they're very good at moving the ball, and like you said earlier, doing them overlapping runs.
Yeah.
So Jimenez would be good. Who was the other option? Sorry, it was Jimenez
Jesus.
Jesus, yeah. So KDB, no Ndidi for Leicester. So they're lacking that protective cover for their defence. So Jesus could be in on goal quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's a really tight choice, but my gut tells me to go for Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, Jimenez isn't in on my wildcard currently, and it's not because I don't think he's great. I do think he's great, and I think he will happily take away, and I'm not saying he won't make it into my wildcard team, but at the moment he isn't there. It's mainly because of Werner's fixture this week. I think if Werner had a tougher fixture, it would have been quite an easy switch, although even then I might have dithered a bit on Ings for that spot, because Ings did so well for me last season. I'm not really sure why I didn't he was in my first draft. If anyone has been following my videos on this channel, he was in my first draft, Ings, and I took him out for Che. It's a bit annoying, but yeah, Jimenez is going to be Mr. Consistent, and then Jesus is going to be Mr. Explosive. So it very much depends on which way you want to go, whether you'd like that trickle of points most weeks, or whether you want to kind of have somebody that could score 2 goals one week and then might not, would share his goals, for instance, with a KDB or a Sterling the next. So yeah, that's probably where I'd go for on those two. Matt D just says on this, with Wolves fixtures, Sace and Jimenez can be left to do their thing for a good few weeks. Wolves very impressive all round so far. Absolutely agreed. The one reason I wildcarded was to get in more Everton players and more Wolves players. They are the teams that have impressed, and City players obviously, because I didn't have any. They are the players that have impressed so far this season. It's only been 2 game weeks, but they look sharp, and I think you need to be thinking about working a couple of them into your team from each of those sides, especially on their run of fixtures, should they continue form. Because I always say, everybody goes like, fixtures this, fixtures that, and I always say think of form, but for me, if you can marry the two together, then it's heaven, isn't it, Graham? You can't argue with that.
Well, this start of this season, I wouldn't know. But hopefully from here on in, I can feel some heaven in my points.
Exactly.
80 will do.
Yes, and let's hope I get another dream tonight that tells us exactly what's going to happen. So, welcome, John. You've joined just as we're wrapping up the stream again, buddy.
He's charged his battery.
He's charged his battery. But I will be live again with the FPL Wildcats at 8:45 tonight, John. So I know you'll be there, buddy. I know you'll be there, and giving us all the Spurs gossip as well, because we'll need that. But thank you, everybody, for joining the stream. Please do, like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. I have a video at the beginning of the week that covers my review for the game week and my preview for the next game week, and then I do the Dream Team stream on Thursday afternoons, usually with Graham, but every now and again we get a random guest just dropping by, so you never know who might end up here. And yes, do go over and check out Graham's channel, Fancy Football Focus, on YouTube. Graham, have we got to the 200 subscribers yet?
I'm getting so close to 200.
How many have we got left?
I'm not sure. What am I on now? I better just check it.
Check it now.
And I'll answer a question in the chat at the same time.
Okay,
so us men can multitask.
Oh, interesting.
So it's from Tom Skull. It says, is that your wildcard team? No, it is not a wildcard team. It's the Dream Team.
It's the Dream Team, yeah.
And I'm on 187 subs.
Okay, guys, we'd love to get Graham to 200 subs because he says
Oh, that'd be
that's what he would
amazing.
just like to get for the season. And I'm saying we can do better than that, can't we,
I
Nimfam?
said by Christmas, didn't I?
By
200
Christmas,
subs.
200 by Christmas. So, you know, we can do better than that, Nimfam. If you're watching, if you've liked and
Bless.
subscribed to my channel, please pop over to Graham's. The link is in the description below and give him a sub. You know, he deserves it. It's really difficult being a new content creator in the
Thank you,
FPL
Nim.
world, and it's really tough, and we all have to start somewhere. We absolutely do. So you know, he's really doing well. So please make sure you go over and get him to those 200 subs. I would love that. That'd be amazing. So thank you, everybody. And oh, that's why John's a little bit late. His nephew comes on Thursdays. Apologies, John. You should have him watch the Dream Team stream. He can help us choose some players. There you go.
Get him playing FPL,
Get him
John.
playing FPL. So thank you everybody so much for watching the stream. We will be back then next week and we will let you know if we've beaten the magic 3 now. It's 3. I can't believe it, Graham. We actually got 3 players right. Can you believe
That's
it?
totally awesome. That's what we needed.
Everything is awesome.
4 next week, guys.
Yes, we need 4. Hopefully this team will get us to 4 in the dream team. So yeah, the dream is the 11, but we'll, you know, let's just go with 4 for now. So I will catch you guys later. It is a goodbye from me and it's goodbye from Graham.
Goodbye from Graham.
Bye guys. Take care.